Good morning, y'all. The Lord, I was spending time with the Lord, and He gave me this song and told me to get on here and share it. Hope it blesses somebody. I rather miracle. I rather wait for the miracle. You do things so great and intentional that I rather wait for the miracle than try to do it on my. I rather wait for the miracle. I rather wait for the miracle. You do things so great and intense that I would rather wait for the miracle than try to do it on my own. I would rather wait for the miracle. I would rather wait for the miracle. Things so great and intentional that I would rather wait for the miracle than try to do it on my own. I would rather wait for the miracle on my own. Oh, 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 I rather wait for the miracle. I would rather wait for the miracle. You do things so great and intentional that I would rather wait for the miracle than try to do it on my own. We don't always understand why. We don't always understand why God makes us wait, but I thank you. I thank Him so much that He's grown me and matured me and helped me to see His true essence day by day, but especially in this area, helping me to see how much of a good Father He is and helping me to accept His way, which is delayed gratification. It's so much better. He's such a good Father that he would rather put up with the temper tantrums and being patient with us and giving us grace and mercy than to give us what He promised us beforehand, like too soon, because He knows we're gonna mess it over. He knows we're not gonna be responsible enough to handle it. So he rather put up with us throwing a temper tantrum as His children and constantly coming to Him about why we ain't got it and all these things. He rather show us grace and mercy and give us it to us too early in His sabotage. And so I've just learned, like, I just learned as He's been growing me to it's much more pleasure in waiting for what He has than to just get it right when He promised it, if that makes sense. Like, we are created within time, but God sits outside of time. So in life we feel like everything, we're being squished. It's almost like we feel like we're in a microwave, like we're being squeezed on every side, especially when we're waiting for something. It just, time goes by and it just feels like it's getting more and more impossible. It just feels like if it don't come today, when is it ever gonna come? And And God has just taught me, and I've just grown to understand how much better it is to put my faith and my trust in Him, because I can never fathom in my own fleshly brain, like, what is going on, what is He doing behind the scenes. Yes, like, He shows us bits and pieces, and I call it giving us puzzle pieces along the way, where we eventually see the bigger picture. But His plan for our lives, just cramming in our mind, just to show us it. We would die from just how great the promise is, just how great it is. And so God is just good in all His ways. Even when we don't understand it, He's still good in it. Like, it's like the growing pains of waiting. Like, there's so much benefit in it. Growing with the Lord, man, like, and just putting your trust in Him, and it's so much less stress when we do it that way. If it's not enough to just say you believe God out your mouth, or you believe in Jesus out your mouth, but does your life show that? Do you really put in work to trust Him like you do? Like we do with we put so much trust and say all these things to people, but if we really look a close look at ourselves, we all fake and phony if we not being that way to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much better. Like, I don't want to get off on a rant. I felt myself going there a little bit, but like, seriously, like, it's so much to live for the Lord and let Him lead your life, because there's so much less stress. Like, just thinking back on the stress when I was trying to control my own life, and I felt like it was all on my shoulders. The stress of that was just enough to make me want to get up every day and need a blunt and go smoke all throughout the day and go to sleep with some, and then have to, find some type of some sort, or at least feeling in between, some sheets with some guy or something. Like, it was just like all unnecessary stress. When if I had known that living like this, like living with God as my Savior and as my Lord, and just putting my trust in, knowing that, I don't have to have it all on my shoulders. I don't have to know it all. I don't have to figure it all out. But He is the one who knows everything, and I put my trust in Him. It's so much better, man. Like, man, like, just going back to what I was saying, like, we don't always understand why God makes us wait, but it's so much better when we do. And it's intentional, that, like, when it finally comes through, we see the bigger picture. And it's not just about us. Like, God is so intentional and great in what He does when making us wait, or giving us a promise, that He involves other people. Like, our promise, like the things that I'm waiting for God to fully manifest, the promise for it. Some of the things that I'm waiting for Him to come through on, which I know He is, like, is much bigger than me. Other people are going to be blessed because of it. He has to align certain people. He has to align certain people in my life that's not in my life yet, that's going to reap the benefits of Him blessing me with that promise. Just like we seen in the Bible with Abraham, because Abraham with him, or even in the place where he settled, those that lived in the surrounding cities were able to reap some type of way from what God had blessed him with. And out of all that, the most important thing is they became to know the God who is the one and true God, which is Jesus. They came to know the one and only God. They came to know, which is, come on, man, it's much bigger than just us. It's much bigger than Him just wanting to give us things. It's Him wanting to draw people back to Him. It's His heart for souls, for His creation. Those that he created in His image to have dominion and do heaven is much bigger, man. So I'm gonna sing this a few more times, and I'm gonna get off of here. And I just hope and pray that this, blesses somebody. I would rather wait for the miracle. I would rather wait for the miracle. You do things so great and intentional that I would rather wait for the miracle. than to do it on my own. Wait for the miracle. I would rather wait for the miracle. You do things so great and intentional that I would rather wait for the miracle. Do it on my own. Ebo sandia karabashete siororoboshetia. Yakanamasete siororoshia. I would rather wait on you, Lord. I would rather wait for you to do the miracle on my own. Anything I do, anything I try to hold together, it falls apart. But you, Lord, you hold it all together. I'd rather put my life is safer with you. I would rather wait for the miracle than to do it on my own. Thank you for teaching me this, Holy Spirit. Thank you. So much less stress, so much peace. And the word says that the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but those that endure to the end. It's all about endurance too. It's all about long suffering. Nobody wants to talk about the fruit of those fruits of the Spirit, but I do. I do. I used to not want to, but now I do. The characteristic of endurance, of enduring something, suffering long through something, man. And it's all props to God, man. It's all God, man. Because if it was me, I would have been gave up on a lot of stuff he planted in my belly to believe him for. The enemy was coming at me so hard, trying to get me to doubt it or compromise and settle for something. I'd rather wait for the miracle. Yadebo Sanya. I would rather wait for the miracle. 'Cause you do things, Jesus, with greatness and intentional, that I would rather miracle than to try to do it on my own. If you're feeling yourself getting weary in the waiting, I would encourage you to sing this song. It serves as a declaration as well, and it puts you back into the mind of Christ. It puts you back into what Philippians about. You know, I'm using it right now as a declaration. Like I was just thanking the Lord and just thanking him, and the song just came to me from my heart, and just thanking him for all the stuff that has come to pass and that is showing, like, even though it has not, some things have not fully come to pass, it's like God has done certain things to show that yes, this is still the promise. There's going to be a time where it fully manifests, but it's manifesting right now. And it's nothing but his grace. I pray every day for more grace. I pray every day that he keep me in the fear of him. I pray every day that he continues to keep, humble me, keep me broken before him. I tell him every day, I said, let me get to a place where I just find myself just like going with the motions of just doing ministry and all these things you call me to do, but I no longer come seek your face. Like before I do anything, Lord, I need you to lead my day. I need to start my day off with you. Because if I don't start my day off with you, I can't live spiritually minded like you ordained me to live by the Spirit. My day will be garbage if I don't start my day with you, Lord. And he's just maturing me to understand that, and even fight to get to that mature place, because the enemy don't want that. I fought and I still fight all type of, python spirits. This flesh is literally prideful. Like, that's why Paul says, I kill my flesh daily. We must crucify it daily. We must pray and seek the Lord, because that's one of the ways we directly defeat pride and fasting, but especially prayer, because prayer lets you, man. I would rather wait for the miracle. I would rather wait for the miracle. You do things so great and intentional. Rather wait for the miracle than to do it on my own. One more time. I would rather wait for the miracle. I would rather wait for the miracle. Things so great and intentional that I would rather wait for the miracle than to do it on my own. All right, I love y'all. Y'all have a good one.